Hey everybody, this is Perch, and it's a hot day. So Texas up to 100 degrees, I guess. Well, I mean, I'm not saying this as a surprise. I'm aware that south, in the country, when you go south, it gets typically a little warmer. Texas is hot. This is not a mystery to me. So I say that from time like, wow, it's hot. People come with, what? Are you surprised? I'm like, no, I'm not surprised. It's hot. I'm just making conversation. You know what? This is why I just like to be alone, right? That's where I'm at. Anyway, let's get to this viewer question. It says, "Dear Perch, I am subscribed to your channel. Thank you very much. By the way, keep subscribers are always welcome. There's a ton of you, and I don't understand why, but that's very nice. Subscribed to your channel for a month or two now, and I just reached your video titled "Just Close the Wallet." In that video, you said that the outrage surrounding Rian Johnson in his Star Wars movie was what made him and Kathleen Kennedy grow. Well, not exactly, but it isn't what made them grow, but it helped. I think that there is a philosophy called any attention is good attention. Now, it's not entirely true. Not every bit of attention is good attention, and there's a difference between long-lasting growth and stability and short-term kind of junk food growth. And when you get growth by outrage, it is short-term junk food type growth. Now, that short-term can be 5 to 10 years, but it's not going to be 100 years. That's why a lot of, we'll see a lot of the YouTube outrage channels. We'll see where we are in 10 years. Probably, I mean, you've already seen the views and everything drop dramatically on a lot of the channels. And the reason being is, people eventually get tired of it, or they go looking for a different voice who's outraged, or whatever it happens to be. So you can gain attention. And by the way, part of that growth is from people who 100% disagree. There are people who obsessively watch different YouTube channels that they hate. They hate those guys, but they cannot get away. They're addicted to it. They cannot not watch because they want to feel angry. And eventually they do find something better to do with their life and everything else. But it is that. So the Rian Johnson Star Wars was a polarizing Star Wars, and also the reactions to it were extreme. I'm like, this is the worst movie. You've destroyed my entire childhood and everything else forever and ever and ever. I can't. This was mine. You took it from me. I had somebody comment like that in one of my recent videos. Like, the reason why we're upset and we can't just close the wallet is because they stole something. They stole something that we owned. It's like, see, there's the problem. We don't own it. Yes, we buy into it. Yes, we invest into it, but we don't own it. And I mean, if you've ever, by the way, bought a mobile game or something that has freemium, basically it's free, but you buy into it. And there was some puzzle game that I did, and every now and then I'd buy into it. Very, very rarely. It's the first and last time I did it. I'm like, hey, I'll buy some cards. There was some Marvel card game, and it was kind of fun as a community aspect to it. And I justified it to myself, like, well, I didn't pay $50 for this thing, so I'll put in $5 here, and I'll get a better deck or some nonsense. And then one day the game's like, well, thank you very much for playing, but we're out. Peace, bitches. And the game was over. Like that was it. It was done. And I remember, like, what the hell? I put all this money into it. Now it's just gone. And it was a lesson that you don't own anything, especially like this. With comics, we invest our time and our energy and our life into it, but make no mistake about it, it's owned by Disney. And, you could be pissed that they took your entertainment away, but they didn't steal from you. It's an interesting perspective. Anyway, sorry, continuing with mail. So to me, that sounds strange. He's saying because Rian Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy, their popularity grew somewhat as a result of the outrage. So the comments are, so to me that sounds strange, because it's like for a business there is no difference between negative attention and positive attention. As long as there is attention, it will benefit them. But then there are things like Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case, where I would say the negative controversy surrounding that case has had a negative influence on their career, especially Johnny, as Disney fired him even before we knew he was actually guilty. So my question is, to which degree is there a difference between negative and positive attention for a company? Kind regards. Cool. And I don't know if you want me to put your channel name up here. You listed your channel name, but I feel like I should do a shout out to this channel. You didn't say not to. I'm going to do it. So your channel name, Belgium Comics. I will go check it out and subscribe. But thank you very much for the the question. So, to me, I'm thinking that like there's nothing in this question that's controversial. It's going to get you in trouble or anything like that. So, Belgium Comics, go subscribe. So positive attention is better. Make no mistake about it. Positive attention always better. Somebody doing a great job drawing a comic book or writing a comic or acting in a movie, or somebody has a breakout performance, and it's hands down better. Case in point, Sigourney Weaver was in the original Alien and was considered to have a breakout performance. People liked it. They thought she did a great job and everything else, and that was positive. Completely positive attention. I'm sure there's people bitching at the time, but it was positive. It was good for her career. It helped spawn and grow everything that she is now. There's plenty of recent examples of actors who kind of break out. I would argue that Poe. No, sorry, not Poe. What am I thinking? Finn. Finn, I think, was a solid actor. I think he did a good job in that role. I think that he did the best with what he had given, and a lot of people who watched those movies said they wished Finn would have had more to do. In fact, many people would like for Finn to be the hero instead of Rey, for Finn to become a Jedi and all the rest. And I think that moment was there for Finn, but they flubbed it, and kind of he was relegated to background material. Was Finn. So, but Finn, I think, is an example of positive attention. Even with all the controversy and irritation surrounding Star Wars, most people were very complimentary toward Finn. There was not this big negativity wave toward him. And so positive attention is better. Negative attention, it's to a point. The negative attention can't hit certain things. Generally speaking, negative attention is better than apathy, because the difference between love, or sorry, the opposite of love is not hate. Hate is still filled with emotion. The opposite of love is apathy. The opposite of love is just not caring whatsoever. That's why in many cases, comic writers, people who do movies and other things, if the review is I loved it, or the review is this is absolute garbage, I hate it, obviously you want the love, but you'll take the garbage. The review that is the absolute worst is, it's fine. It was just kind of there. I don't, honestly, I've kind of even forgotten what it was about. I don't know. It was not memorable. That's way worse. That sounds benign. That sounds like, nah, no big deal. Who could get upset with that? But that will send people to war. Because emotion, saying, I hate something, this is trash, I'm going to rip it up, throw it in the garbage, all that kind of stuff, it's like the game is afoot. At that point, you feel invested. You can now start to battle that person for whose passion is stronger and all the rest. But it gives things people can claw into. But apathy, like that, the comic, it's fine. I don't know. It wasn't really my thing, but I'm sure it's good for somebody. But it's fine. It's fine. That cuts like a blade to the throat. Because there's no way, I'm like, if you come across, you're like, how dare you just say it's fine? You sound like a crazy person. You can't argue with that. You can't fight with that. And so a lot of media companies, they do that. So with Star Wars, and I speculated on this, and I still think there's potentially some truth to it, because Disney was caught doing this in the past, is, they seed at least some people who are just over the top angry about it, because some of the outrage about Star Wars was over the top nuts. It wasn't just, this was not a very good movie. It was the most vile evil. Like there were people who would write articles like, so now I know what rape feels like. No, you do not. From a Star Wars movie. My reaction to the Star Wars movie was, the Rian Johnson was just it was apathy. And so I mean, companies can bank on that. They can get some attention, because the thing is, it will pull, and we've seen this with Star Wars. There are people who were pulled in to Star Wars who are not fans of Star Wars. They were content to just kind of ignore the entire thing. But they were galvanized by this idea of, did you hear that there's some neckbirds out there who are, they're a bunch of incels, and they're trying to attack a woman. They're trying to attack a woman Jedi. Say a woman can't be a Jedi. That's what's going on right now. We've got to stop it. We've got to, we have to put an end to this. We can't let the Trump incel voter people win. We have to stop them. They're attacking women, and that pulled people to the defense and to say, screw it. I'm gonna buy into. There was a woman that I knew who, non-Star Wars. You know, these people who every now and then they'll tell you things like, I don't watch anything fiction. I just watch documentaries and nonfiction stuff. I always think, I'm like, oh, that's very interesting. In my head, I'm thinking, you live a very boring life. That's you never say that out loud, but I'm like, I don't know how you can stand to be you, but okay. Well, whatever. Everybody has their thing. But anyway, when the Star Wars, when the first movie came out and Rey was the Jedi, I remember her saying it's like she was buying a Rey toy for her daughter. It's like I got to buy this Rey doll, Rey action figure for my daughter because I got to support female heroes. I'm like, but you don't even like these movies. You don't watch any of this stuff. It's like I got to support women heroes. It's like, all right. I mean, okay, you gave Disney some of your money, and that's exactly what happened. They handed Disney some cash, and they got baited into, hey, the incels don't like this thing, the Trump people don't like it, they hate women, so I better go give Disney some of my cash in order to support women. Very weird. Anyway, but it's just that's how it goes. Now, obviously, there is a limit to negative attention, and certain things like if you're accused of domestic abuse, you start to embarrass the studio. Like Ezra Miller, there's no way Ezra Miller is going to, continue. Yeah, he's over. Now they have some movies, everything, and they'll kind of trickle out, but he's done. He's done because he's an unpredictable headache for the studio. And as soon as you become an unpredictable headache, it's over for you. You don't come back from that, and that's where old Ezra is right now. Anyway, good question. So curious what the rest of you think in terms of how this stuff all works. Like and subscribe, of course, and thanks for listening.